the blind man lives with his sister, and the sister falls in love with a hunter, and he's very handsome. And they want to get married, and the hunter is so proud. His wife is so beautiful. But the hunter says to his wife, what is the point? Why do you have to have your brother here? Because he's blind, he's useless. What's the point? She says, no. He might be blind, but he is very, very wise. And besides, I love my brother. He has nowhere else to live, and I have promised my parents I will look after him. So the hunter kind of puts up with this. And the hunter goes out every day, and he goes into the forest to hunt. And he comes back, he brings meat, and they eat. And every day, the blind man says to the hunter, let me come with you, I can help. And the hunter says, no, you are blind, you can't do this. You just stay here, you look after yourself here. You can't see, so how will you help with hunting?
Right.
One day the hunter comes back and he's killed this gazelle, and they have this fantastic stew, and afterwards he's licking his lips, and he's very pleased. He looks at his wife, he's very happy, and I don't know, something kind of melted in his heart, and he turns to the blind man and he says, you know what, tomorrow you can come with me. You come with me hunting. And the blind man goes, oh, that's great, I'll be ready. And in the morning, the blind man was up and showered and ready, and the hunter came, and the hunter took his hand to lead him into the forest. And they walked in the forest, and they walked into the center of the forest. And as they were walking there, suddenly the blind man stopped the hunter, and he said, wait, because there is a lion. And it's okay. It's eaten its kill and it's resting, so we'll be all right. And they turned the corner, and sure enough, there was a lion. And the hunter couldn't understand it. How is this possible?
Yeah.
Said the blind man, that is because I see with my ears. Okay. And he continued walking and went further, and then suddenly he said, stop. And the hunter said, why? He said, there is a she-elephant, and with her babies we've got to be very careful. The hunter stopped. He said, where? And they turned the corner, and sure enough, there was the elephant down by the water. The hunter was confused. How do you know this? Said the blind man, that is because I see with my ears. And they continued walking, and they got right to the center of the forest. And the hunter said to the blind man, look, I'll show you how to make a trap. And he made a trap in the center of the forest. And with these, to capture birds, you see. And he showed the hunter how to make a trap, and they went back home. Following day, the blind man was up early. And the hunter took his hand and said, come, I'll show you in the forest. And the blind man said, no, I can do it. And he walked, and he never took a wrong path. He didn't bump into anything. He never broke anything, didn't trip on any twigs, nothing. He just knew exactly where to go right the way to the center of the forest where there were the two traps for the birds. And he saw the birds. Well, the hunter saw the birds, and he said to the blind man, you sit down over here. And the hunter went to the traps, and he saw in the blind man's trap was a beautiful bird, a bird whose plumage was gold, crimson, and green. And in his trap was a small brown bird. And he said, this fellow, what can he do? He can't see, right? He's blind. Right. So therefore, I'll give him the small brown bird. So he took the small brown bird, he gave it to the blind man, and the blind man was holding the bird, and they were walking back to their home. And suddenly the hunter stopped, and he turned to the blind man. He said, you're so clever, you're so wise. How come there is so much greed, hatred, and delusion in the world? And the blind man paused, and he said, that is because the world is full of people like you. People who take things that don't belong to them. And the hunter was overcome with remorse, and he took the beautiful bird and he put it in the hands of the blind man. He took the brown bird back from the blind man, and the two of them continued walking in the forest. And then the hunter stopped again. And he said, you're so wise. How come there is love and generosity and kindness in the world? And the blind man smiled. And he said, that is because the world is full of people like you. People who learn from their mistakes. And they continue walking. And when they got home, and whenever anybody used to come to visit the blind man, the hunter would put his arm around his brother-in-law and say, he is very wise because he sees with his ears and he hears with his heart.
Phenomenal.
So you can see in a story like that, there is so much for us to learn.